much good news for Manchester United, though. Is it time up for Ruben Amorim at Old Trafford? Jamie Carragher described his reign as a disaster last night and said it has to end quickly. United lost to Brentford at the weekend, and Amorim has taken just 34 points from 33 Premier League games.
Why do you think he is still in a job?
I think he's still in a job because I think the powers that be at Manchester United have made that many mistakes so far in decisions that they've made on and off the pitch that they almost don't want to admit right now that they've made another. And this has been a disaster for Manchester United, but also Ruben Amorim. What he did at Sporting Lisbon was fantastic. You know, he looked like the next big thing as a manager, but bringing a manager like that in terms of the system that he played, I don't think ever really suited the club of the traditions of Manchester United. And the quicker Manchester United make the decision on the manager, I think it's better for everybody because, as I said, it's been a disaster for club, but also the manager. And we're only waiting for the inevitable, I think. Unfortunately, as Duncan's just said, you don't want to see people lose their jobs, but this has to end as quickly as possible.
Stands on the side of the pitch, and I'm not convinced that he really knows what he's doing. It's been such a poor appointment for Man United, and the quicker they get rid of him, the quicker they're going to get better, because I don't actually believe that Man United are that bad. I think they've got some good players, but the formation they're playing does not suit any of the players that want to play in that formation.
Our poll today on the Sky Sports News X page is, should Amorim get more time at Manchester United? And 67% are saying no, he shouldn't get more time, with 33% saying yes, he does need more time, as you can see there. But last night, Duncan Ferguson, it was only joking when he said that anyone saying yes to that question is probably a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That was obviously a joke, but are you... There's more saying no than we did this poll last week, but they've just beaten Chelsea this time. They've just lost against Brentford.
Yeah.
But we've done polls like this with other managers where the no percentage has been much higher than that. So Amorim does have some backing. Well, he's got a third.
Yeah, but look, I think there's Man United fans out there who are sick and tired of seeing, you know, the change of managers, and it's just a rotation of, you know, the same old thing. Players come in and they're not good.
It's excuses for the manager, though. There's always an excuse. Yes, he didn't want the job immediately. He wanted to take to the summer. It's the people above him who are the problem.
Yeah.
The recruitment's been poor. We don't know how much part of that he's had. Are they excuses or genuine reasons?
I think there's genuine reasons in certain things, you know, like player recruitment, you know, the players there, the mentality at Manchester United. I don't think it's just Ruben Amorim's problem. I think there is a culture at Man United which has rotted that football club from the inside, and they cannot get rid of it. No matter who they bring in, they are struggling.
What if it's someone who's been in it when the culture's been good? Like, I said Carragher before. The people who've been there, all right? People who've been there, who understand how the culture was, they'll understand how the culture
but you can't keep living
even if it's not as manager.
No, I know.
In some way, can you get them in there?
Oh, 100%. Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, he come through. Roy Keane. I mean, like, I'm amazed that no one has phoned Roy Keane and said, can you come in at Man United and be part of what we're doing here? Because he is arguably Man United's greatest captain. Like, he is a leader. He's unbelievable. When you watch him, he's ferocious. You know, you listen to him when he walks into a dressing room. You're gonna listen. You know, he's gonna lead by example. He's not gonna allow poor standards. I cannot believe that Manchester United have not phoned Roy Keane and said, maybe he can't be the manager, right? Maybe because he's maybe too hot-headed. I don't know, but you know, they want someone in with, you know, maybe a bit more tactical now, so whatever. How Roy Keane isn't in at that football club, in that dressing room, in there every day, in the training ground, telling them this is the standard, this is what's Man United, this is what we've built, this is how we do it. I cannot believe they've not done something like that. You're getting all these weak managers, all these weak mentality people in there, and I look at it and go, Man United, this is Manchester United. You're getting beat by Brentford at the weekend, 3-1, and it's not even a surprise. I cannot believe how far they've fallen. I cannot believe how bad the standards have got. And people just accepting it, like just accepting being bang average. It's Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, alongside Real Madrid, and they're terrible. Like, beyond terrible. Every time I watch them, I'm like, this can't continue. This cannot continue. What is going on? How is this allowed to happen? For me, they should be getting him. Roy, I'm sorry, I know he works for Sky and he's brilliant and I love him, but he needs to be at Man United. He needs to be in that dressing room saying this is the standard of this football club, and if you ain't going to be part of this standard, you're gone out the door. This is the mentality we're having from day one when I come in here. Ruben Amorim's come in and he's binned off Rashford, he's binned off Garnacho. I'm trying to change the culture. He can't even watch penalties. Don't tell me he can change the culture of a football club. He can't even watch them take penalties against Grimsby. He's not the guy.
Roy Keane's last few jobs have been as an assistant manager. When you say he couldn't be manager, he could come in that role, of course. For Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. And you can represent your club. Scan that QR code or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. Right, we want to get a fan view here, and Manchester United supporter James MacDonald joins us now. James, I know you will have been listening to that chat that we've been having with Jamie O'Hara, but quite simply, for Ruben Amorim, is it time up?
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall, isn't it? I think for me, we weren't going to judge him on City games and Arsenal games. We were judging him on Brentford's and Sunderland matches, and it's just not worked out. And it just seems like we're going through the same routine as we've done with all the other managers.
When I watch Man United, you got away with it against Chelsea because they had a man sent off, but Burnley, you snuck 3 points there. So you're talking about really 6 points that you couldn't really have had. Burnley deserved something from the game and they threw it away. What are they waiting for?
Well, at first point, I disagree. I think we threw it away against Burnley. First half, we had chances to kill that game and we didn't, and that's a symptom of where we're at as a club. But yeah, I just think these games like your Fulhams, your Burnleys, Brentford, Sunderland, we're Man United, like you were saying a minute ago, we should be expecting to get something out of these games, at least 3 points, and it's just whatever's happening is just not working.
But James, in the past, you've been a little bit more, not necessarily Amorim in, but you haven't been quite as strong as this. So was Saturday the last straw for you?
No, I think last week when I was on, I was saying it was going to be the Brentford and Sunderland games that'll do, and that'll probably make my decision on it. But I think Brentford was a bit of a wake-up call, and I think it is something drastically needs to change. You can't just keep going on. And obviously we're rebuilding, we're going through a transition and all that, but you still need to be picking up wins and still need to be getting points on the board. And we're just not doing that at the moment. Something needs to change.
What did you think of what Jamie was saying earlier about the culture? Because everyone talks about the culture there. He talked about getting Roy Keane in some capacity. We both mentioned Michael Carragher. In the past, we've both mentioned Kieran McKenna. OK, I know he wasn't with the first team, but there's all these people who do understand how the culture should be at Manchester United and how it was. Is it just a bit fanciful and a fan's dream to think about all these people who, some of the Manchester United legends, thinking putting them in is going to work?
Yeah, Jamie, I pretty much agreed with everything you said before I came on, apart from the Roy Keane thing. I just don't think he's suited for this. And I think, to be honest, if he came in and gave everyone a kick up the proverbial, I think a lot of the players will throw the toys out the pram and ask their agents.
Get rid of them then.
Yeah.
Get rid of.
Well,
if you can't take it, get out of the dressing room. It's Manchester United.
It's true, and I think in terms of the culture, I think Amorim put a dent in that over the summer, getting rid of the bomb squad, as we were calling it. But it just feels like things aren't clicking and like nothing's working.
The bomb squad where Rashford's playing for Barcelona, scoring every week.
I mean, he's not playing. He's not having a worldie of a season. He's got a couple of assists and a couple of goals. It's like last year. He's not having a worldie season. Come on.
A couple of assists and a couple of goals. Yeah, that's it. He's having a terrible season.
I'm not saying he's having a terrible season, but I'm not putting him on a pedestal. I'm saying he's amazing. He's not the second coming of Pele.
If you're a player and you can't take someone like Roy Keane coming into your football club, into that dressing room and setting standards. It's not coming in here just, I'm going to give you all a kick up the backside because you ain't been good enough. It's, I'm coming here to set standards. I'm telling you, this is how Man United is. This is how we got to be. We are Manchester United. If you can't handle that as a player and you don't want to rise to that occasion, get out of the dressing room. See you later. Thank you. Not for us. Gone. I hate this argument now. I hate this argument now where the players don't like it. Oh, the players are this. Oh, we got to protect. Oh, the players won't like it. They'll kick up a fuss. Do me a favour.
Mate, I'm not saying that that's the right thing, but I'm telling you that will happen if Roy Keane comes in, and then we're starting again. I think at the moment we've got a core of players who actually built have an ethos together, but it's just not working.
What's the ethos?
Well, they're working together, the transition in the club. Obviously, like you said over the summer, we got rid of the players who were disrupting the dressing room, and everyone's trying to move forward in the same direction, but nothing is working.
I remember when Eric Ten Hag got the job, we had loads of reaction from Manchester United fans, former players and everyone. Everyone said, yeah, it's going to take 5 years for Manchester United to get back to where they want to be. Well, we're 3 and a bit years into that. Is it 3 and a bit or 4 and a bit years into that? How long are you going to need, regardless of what happens now? How long are Manchester United going to need? Because it was 5 years back then, and it's not going to be done in 1.5.
Well, every time we get a new manager, it resets us another 5 years, doesn't it? And I think we're well more than 5 years away from competing for the top of the league.
How can you speed that up then? How can you speed that up? How can you make it less than 5 years? How can you make it 2 or 3?
Well, if I knew that, I'd probably have the job. I can't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Last week when we talked about other potential managers who could come in, I think did you say that you wanted Premier League experience? Is that still the case?
I think we briefly touched on Glasner, but at the time I wasn't entertaining speaking about other managers because I don't really want to call for anyone to be sacked. I don't want to talk about other managers who've got jobs, but Glasner looks like the standout person to come. But I'll be honest, even as a United fan, would he want to leave the project he's got going on at Crystal Palace to come to Man United?
Okay, fair enough, James. In about 10 seconds. What happens, win, lose or draw, what happens on Saturday?
On Saturday, nothing's going to happen, but after the Liverpool game, he's going to see the yellow bar of doom come up on Sky Sports News. Unfortunately.
James, thank you.
Cheers, fellas.